It's definitely going to be a thriller. Encounter such talent. This is the third edition of Queen's International here in Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. The first edition was won by Jeremiah Naidu, aka from Aden. Same with me. Aden scratches on the break. I think red. Ginte has already made a very quick decision here. I'm joined in the commentary booth by none other than my colleague here, Steve. Steve, what do you think of how the games have been so far since day one of this tournament?
Well, first thing I can tell you is I didn't expect this kind of final. I mean, people have always accused Ginte of being the one-hit wonder. He hasn't done much ever since that first tournament win in Zambia, but he's really surprised everybody, and he's been very convincing in his games, beating almost everybody by a score of about 6 and above. I even heard someone commenting in one of the groups saying, why is Ginte beating people as if these are not the finals, as if this is just like the first round or something. But he's really proven himself. He's been very good and he's been putting very well. Otherwise, I think it's been a good tournament so far. We had a few surprises here and there. We also saw the match between Aden and Caesar. Aden managed to win that one by 8-7. Some people already thought it was going to be a Ginte and Caesar final. But then, like we've learned, things are not always what we expect. Some people will tell us how we do expect. But so far, I think I've enjoyed the tournament. It's been good. What do you think is going to win this final?
I'm confused. Both gentlemen are playing very well. They're putting up quite a show, putting their best foot forward. At this point, I mean, I'm a fan of both.
Some people already thought it was going to be Ginte and Caesar final. But then
I thought it was going to be Ginte with the way he's been putting throughout. But so far, Aden has really come out swinging here. He looks to be on form. And I think for those who didn't know, I think people are starting to understand why they call him the king of double life. Having lost the first life, he's come back really strong. He's been convincing, and now he's in the final. If he manages to win this one, I'm sure there's a pretty good chance that he's going to win the whole thing. But then I'm not ruling out Ginte just yet. Ginte is a good player, he's a good poacher. So I think it's still 50-50 at the moment.
True, the king of the double lives. Unfortunately lost his first life very early on, one of the first men down. In the first round actually of the first life. And now he's one of the last men standing. The only one of 2 men who can still stand for the first prize. That's incredible. These two have been queuing really well. As you can see, it's only been 3 frames, but 2 apples recorded already. 1 red apple each. It's a tough one. It's a really tough one. Can I get some predictions in the comment section? Who do you think will emerge the winner here? What do you think the final scoreline will be between Ginte and Aden? Tough show. Very tough game here, but definitely worth the watch. Do you have any prediction here? What do you think the final scoreline will be, Steve?
Well, for starters, I don't think this one is going to be timed out because Ginte is a fast player. Aden also doesn't take too much time. So I think this one will go down to the last frame, and I think Aden, on experience, I think he might just win this 9-8, 9-7, somewhere there. That's my prediction.
This one will go down to the last frame, and I think Aden.
Attack, attack, attack. They're very attack-minded and they're very good at it. Ooh, what a shot. That's some serious out-of-the-box thinking, eh? I mean, they attack very quickly. Usually they just spend a couple of seconds, a couple more seconds when they map out, initially when they map out the whole table before their first visit, and thereafter they cruise on. I remember seeing a comment from someone in the comment section saying, Ginte plays fast but slow. It's confusing, but I think I get it. He looks slow, but he's really fast at the end of the day. He wastes no time. Saves people data like some people pointed out. What a mess up by Aden, and the advantage back to Ginte.
I think this will be the first time I've heard something so senseless making so much sense at the same time. Being slow and fast at the same time. I absolutely get it. But I kind of feel like when I watch Ginte, he's a bit more controlled than Aden. I mean, a lot of times Aden plays spectacular shots, and I'm thinking the reason why that happens is sometimes he loses a bit of control. He loses a bit of control on his cue ball, and then he's forced to play these really spectacular shots. But Ginte is usually more controlled. Like the cue ball usually goes where he wants it to go. That was Aden with the foul, eh? Ginte cue ball in hand. So Aden leading 2-1, but I think Ginte is about to equalize now. It's just down to the black. I see the crowd. I kind of feel like Ginte has got more support than Aden in here.
2-1, but I think Ginte is about to equalize now. It's just down to the black.
Whatever corner he's in, you can hear him cheering him along. You can never mistake that voice. Aden on the break now. Scores a tie. So everybody's thinking that was Aden with the dry break. Ginte on the table now. I'm sure you all watched the live tour semi-final between Ginte and Sakala. Sakala had so much support. He was carrying the whole Sofa nation on his shoulders, and the support didn't disappoint. But then, of course, Ginte proved to be a bit too strong for him, with the convincing scoreline of 9-3, I think, which has been the norm for Ginte this whole tournament. It's been very convincing. Priscilla, I didn't get your prediction. What was your
I can see it decided here. I think these two gentlemen are proving to be of equal talent. Well, right now for sure, they're showing to be of equal talent. Equally attack-minded.
You take down to the black. You take the lead. He's aiming on the fire.
Priscilla, I didn't get your prediction. What was your
From from Ginte and one from Aden. I mean, that gave me goosebumps. I think I blinked twice and next thing, Ginte was in black. The last thing I remember was Aden breaking drag. I don't know what happened. I blinked and Ginte was in black. And like, what a show.
Yeah, you know, Ginte is always bang, bang, bang. You blink, you're gone. You blink, you missed it.
Frame number 6 now. I think this game is really just down to the breaks. They've both proven that they're very good at their attack, very good at clearing, hardly make mistakes, and they're in fine form. So right now it's the break, and that's the aspect of the game that they have the least control of, so to speak. I mean, they're both, in terms of potting powers, they're very good at that. They can control that. The cue ball they can easily control. For the most part, but the break is the one that's the least predictable for them. So the whole game lies there. Yet another dry break, and I think it'll be yet another red apple here. Red for red.
Absolutely. What do you think about this issue of, okay, I mean, for us to get our money's worth, we should probably want Aden to win, so we get another match. What do you think? I think I talked to one of the people in the crowd, they were saying they're hoping Ginte wins here so they get to go home. So the whole thing ends. Unless I'm getting it wrong. If Aden wins here, there's going to be another grand final, right?
Either way, we don't get to go home now, because for me it's the same. Because, okay, let's say for instance, Ginte loses, Aden wins, right? They'll be playing again, the grand final on the one table. Meanwhile, Wetty will be playing third and fourth. Actually, no, Wetty has to wait for Ginte if Aden wins here. He has to wait for Ginte to play third and fourth. Yeah, so I suppose it's a little extra time saved, but who wants that? I want to prolong the action. I want to see as much of it as possible. I'm enjoying it. I mean, if it could end tomorrow or next week, the better for me. I'm taking notes and I'm totally just enjoying this. I don't want it to end, honestly.
I agree with you. I don't mind spending the whole night here. So it's still looking like a red apple here. I don't think Aden is going to make a mistake.
I agree with you on that one. A second red apple for Aden. It's really too hard to tell here. Too close for comfort in terms of their performances here. Can you see that perfect cueing, perfect cue positioning? It just rolls naturally. The rest is obvious. Even you can feel this. Okay, maybe not. But yeah, a red apple. It's already confirmed here. I mean, look at that.
I think Priscilla, you need to stop using the examples of me. Make me feel so bad and make so silly because I can't even play this game. I just know how to watch and maybe commentate a few things. And if you notice, I avoid calling the shots because I know I would get them wrong. I just kind of like sticking to the simple things and just enjoying the game. But yeah, I do agree. It's been really perfect cueing, perfect cue ball control. Scores are tied at 3-3 now. That was Ginte with the cue ball in his hand. And the past experience from this tournament serves us right. This is going to be another finish. Oh, how did that happen? He has failed to drop that one yellow. Now that's Aden back on the table. With a not so simple frame, it's not so straightforward, but it will not be surprising if Aden can just close this one out. We've got the issue of the two reds close to the one yellow on the right of the table. If we can manage to get those three, this should be done. As usual, Pila Mazamba and his loud voice can be heard echoing through the venue, calling out Aden Joseph. Let's see how he fixes that race problem. Wow! That was a good shot. That was a good shot.
I'll be honest here, Steve. When Aden began this visit, I was a little skeptical. I couldn't confidently assure myself that he'd clear. But look at that. Ooh, he just missed that position. Maybe a super fine cut there or something magical, but we see him shaking his head there. Obviously disappointed in the position. Looks up to the heavens a bit, maybe for a bit of inspiration, but is still going to go for that cut, I'm sure. For his sake, I hope he doesn't set it in the pocket. That'd be a bit bitter after all that effort. Also needing to avoid a foul there. Needing to avoid resting on the yellow. That was close. But the chances were really high of the black sitting in the pockets. Chance back to Ginte and advantage back to Ginte here.
Well, I think we can safely say this one is gone. Even the way Ginte has been chewing, this frame is gone. I mean, I also agree with you at the start of this frame. I didn't think Aden was going to even get to the black. Because there was the issue of those two rays that were stuck on the left of the table. He fixed that very quickly. He was unlucky with the black. So now Ginte is almost done with this frame. Most certainly going to clear. Look at that cue ball positioning. That's the frame.
Wow! That was a good shot.
This has been a wonderful match so far. I see some comments saying Ginte is better than Caesar. He has definitely played better than Caesar in this tournament.
I see some comments saying Ginte is better than.
And that was about the time when Ginte was starting to get really famous. He was really getting traction to his brand after the win in Zambia. And people were expecting fireworks in the pit. People even thought he was going to beat Caesar, but he didn't. Well, this time around, Caesar didn't even make it to the final, and Ginte is here and queuing very well and in the lead. Aden is heavily put, figuring out how to proceed from this point on. Few problems on the table. Few problems on the table. Let's see how Aden fixes it. I mean, this is the best part about it. You don't always want to get those really easy frames where everybody just put Aden It's very unfortunate. And given the way things have been going, I've been thinking Ginte will finish this one with the cue ball in hand. Let's wait and see. However, I'm still sticking to my opinion that this match will not be timed out. I think we are going to get a winner well before time, well before the 90 minutes. Well, Christopher voice definitely knows pro language better than me. That's why I always try to avoid, being too technical. Christopher voice really knows really knows the game and the language. We are down to the last 3 heads. Looks like the race is going to be a formality here. One last I don't think he's too happy with the positioning of the cube over there.
Okay, say we are not too happy. We never know with him. Okay, but no, it isn't that ideal.
He messed it up. In the stars. I think he's really disappointed a little bit. What do you think? Do you think a bank shot or maybe a fine cut?
I think a bank shot would be easier. Ooh, looks like he wants to cut it thin to the bottom of my corner pocket.
Aden 3.
And then I got goosebumps. Was still good at time. The inch is closer to actually winning both live finals, but Aden, the ghost, is, we all know Aden, very capable of stopping Ginte in his tracks. This is a very competitive final for life too. Definitely worth our time and money here. Frame number 9, Aden breaks for his sake. I hope he breaks in pots. No, he does not, and Ginte could very well punish him. Keyboard position is a bit uncomfortable, I think, for a takeoff there. But these are the big boys. These are the big boys. Might not struggle much there. And there we go. Easy putt to center, table closed, and yellows it is. Do you think this could translate into another red apple for Ginte?
Absolutely. It looks so simple here. But I think Aden will be unfazed by the scoreline. In the match he played with Caesar, I think they were also trailing 3-0 or 3-1 or something, and he came back really strong. So he will be unfazed. I think he's still game on here.
Definitely game on. These two are geniuses on the table. I'm sure Malawi is proud, South Africa is proud. They've put up quite a show. This frame looks a little complicated with those reds. Could cannon right now. And uncomplicate things. Didn't manage to, but he could try again. Bank shot to center. Develop the other red. Although it's not an obvious shot there. Cuba position not the best, I think, for that right about now. Was he trying to snooker? No, I think he was trying to bank that ball and make position for the next one. What kind of shot was that? What did Ginte just do, really? Aden playing quite defensively now.
Is this the first technical frame from those guys?
I believe it is.
I mean tactical.
I believe it is, and the longest so far. Once in a while you have those, they're necessary. And I quite like those. I like to, I learn a lot more in such frames. A lot of strategies employed, how they solve problems, their problem solving skills. Very impressive as well. comes from experience generally. And I am learning a lot, a whole lot. Do you like attacking frames more? I have a feeling you do. They are very entertaining, of course, but for note taking, I prefer this kind of frame.
I think it depends on my mood. Sometimes I prefer the slow game, tactical, taking their time, using their intelligence. But then sometimes when I'm not in some good mood, I prefer the bang bang.
Rachel Mbewa, thank you for the 200 stars you've just sent to Cupid's Photography. We appreciate it. Guys, please send Cupid's Photography some stars. Stars are digital gifts you can send to the streamer and help him earn some money. Please support him. He's doing an awesome job here.
Let's change to at least Aden back on the table. His only problem right now would be the red stuck to the rail. Very close to the rail with nowhere to go. Maybe a bank shot. We'll see how it goes with it. Bank shot it is, I think. Woo! Beautiful. It's a good one. All I get is 0 problems now. This frame is as good as gone. Perfect positioning. He's left himself a bit of a long range. Probably not a problem for him. Ginte will surely make it 6-3 now, opening the gap. Ginte only needs
Basically, now from here on out, Ginte and yeah, 3 and 6 respectively. I mean, we all know Aden is capable of putting a handbrake, but in fine form, Ginte might very well restrict him from doing so. Let's see this break. Breaks and pots. Earlier in the Live 2 semi-final, remember we saw Caesar versus Aden. At some point, Aden was trailing 4-1. And the next thing, it was 6-6. And then he won that encounter. So, we're not ruling anything off. It's very possible for him to engage a handbrake. That was a very unfortunate scratch there. It meant the difference between the 5-4 and the 6-3. And that sounds very big. The difference sounds very big. Meanwhile, just next door, the table next to us, the ladies' final has just been completed there. That was a Nicola from, no, sorry. The third and fourth playoffs was a Nicola Rousseau from South Africa versus Maria Mbata from Zimbabwe. Nicola won 7-0 then for the ladies' final. Lukia from Uganda versus Diana Kabasa from Zimbabwe. It ended 7-0 for Lukia's favor. Thank you, Rachel Mbeya, for sending a further 200 stars to Q Pixels Photography. After the 500 stars you just sent a few minutes ago, we really appreciate your support. Back here, 6-3 still it is. Aden looks to be on the verge of a clearance yet to make it 6-4. And 6-4 it is. Aden needs 5, Ginte needs 4. This is definitely an exciting match here. This Life 2 final. What a show. Ginte is still the only man unbeaten in this entire tournament. Well, that's a really, really amazing achievement. Out of the whole 8 countries, several top players from 8 countries all here, and he's made it this far. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And the Ghost, after having lost 1 life in the first round of First Life, came baying for everyone's blood, and now look, here it is in the last 4 of the overall tournament. Still got a chance to clinch first prize, depending on how this particular match goes. Let's see. This dry break.
I'm thinking yellows. I'll probably take yellows here. I think I have to quickly comment on Aden's mental strength. I mean, it's not easy being knocked out in the first round of the First Life. I mean, a lot of people probably ruled him out after that loss. But it's just given a lot of mental strength, a lot of it, to be able to come back and be the final of the other way. So it's some really good players too along the way. And Ginte, of course, not much can be said. Okay, a lot can be said, which we don't have time for at the moment. I mean, getting to the end of the tournament with both lives, very, very, very extraordinary. It was a really good fit, really silencing the doubters. What are they going to call him now? A 2-hit wonder if he wins this?
No, now he has definitely earned many people's respect, really. Let's give it to him. I mean, he's worth it. He's definitely worth being listed among the giants of Africa. He's proven it. I mean, hey. I see somebody there in the comment section asking if Ginte is the only man from Malawi. No, a total of 7 players enter the tournament from Malawi, but only 1 entered the money brackets. And he happens to be the only one still unbeaten. Innocent Mawoko, thank you for sending 200 stars that you sent to Q Pixel. That looks like a very stressful shot, Steve.
Yeah, I think
with the cue ball so into the cushions, so is the red. A very straight shot, making position for the black. But then again, I think he's really banking on his putting skills. He could even use the yellow to putt center. Okay, he tried, unfortunately he failed. And with that foul, I think Aden will punish him. I think he'll be nervous in this.
How our Zimbabwe first, I mean, we expected a lot from them. I mean, we expected a lot from them last tournament. We expected a lot this time around. We had Sakala really doing well, getting to the 7th of 1 life. But what do you think? Do you think we have a chance of improving next time? Where do you think we can improve on all that?
There's always a chance. Never say never. Just like there's always a chance for me to get as good as these 2 guys one day, you know? Never say never. I'm not ruling myself out. I want to be as good as these guys one day, and I can if I put in enough effort. 10,000 hours apparently, I heard. You need to practice at least 10,000 hours or something if you want to be good at it. If I can, if I want to, I can. If I put my mind to it, although it's going to be quite a struggle. It's going to be quite a struggle, but anything is possible.
That's a good shot by Aden. Perfect positioning with the 2 ball head. Mr. Kabulaev is back in it, just within one frame of his opponent. I think there's still a bit of pool to be watched. There's still a bit of pool to Just Ginte with a break in the pot. Have you seen a green apple yet?
Not yet, no. We've seen 2 red ones from either player, 2 from Aden and 2 from Ginte, but no break and run so far. If he achieves this particular visit, that'll be the first one. Not too difficult, I think, here. All yellows are an open space, just a couple of good pots, a couple of good whites. We should be good to go.
Yeah, I think we'll probably get our first green apple here. It's looking really straightforward, yeah?
Not anymore.
Commentator's press?
I think so.
Aden on the table now. What do you think about the race? Do you think he can finish this?
Yes, he's just taking his time to plan it all out, one shot at a time. These players are not like us who think 1 or 2 shots ahead. He's just putting it all out all the way to the black, I'm sure. It took quite a bit of time planning that out, but now for the execution, it's gonna be pretty quick. He messed up his cube position there quite a bit. Not exactly what he wanted, but they always have plan B. They always do. But definitely not the position he wanted, but let's see how plan B goes. He looks a bit disappointed even, visibly. He's thinking hard, thinking about plan B and how he'll execute it.
Funny you should mention the issue of planning everything from the first ball to the black. Remember the great Ronnie O'Sullivan, the snooker player? He did mention how he thought it was so difficult to play a black or pool or 9 ball or any of these other 9 ball games, 8 ball games. He said it was a bit too difficult to plan the whole game from the start to the end with one move. Because from the first ball that you got, you have to see it through. He said that was difficult. So I think we have to commend our players for being able to do that.
I think for them it becomes easier with time. One word, experience. They're very experienced in it. They know how to map it out usually. And a lot of it goes down to, most of these players in this tournament even can pot any ordinary ball, any straight shot, but mapping out the whole table and managing to see it through usually boils down to the cue ball management. You have to get your cue ball position perfect and just right, just as you planned it, so that it goes your way.
Absolutely. Jay Iverson says 6-6 loading. Doesn't look like that at the moment. Ginte down to 2 yellows. Let's see how he positions the cue ball for the black. Simple enough. Just walking onto the cushion and he came back. Well, if he loses here, there will not be a grand final. If he loses here, Aden is already the champion, 1 and 2. So Aden needs to win here for him to be able to fly in the grand final. He needs to win here for him to be able to play in the grand final. Plus, if you want to joke.
It's getting a little tense here for Aden. He managed the pot on the break, but the cue ball position a bit uncomfortable. He's a good potter. He should be able to manage this for a sec. I hope he does.
Yes, he does.
Without scratching, good one there. But from here on out, he basically needs to win either 4-0 or 4-1. He can only allow Ginte to win at least one frame. That's a bit difficult against the informed Ginte.
That would really be a tough.
Even the other way around, it would be very difficult. If it was the other way around, it was Ginte needing to engage that sort of handbrake. But it's possible. Anything is possible. Look at that. Good potting, but the position of the cue ball a little uncomfortable. Most of us amateurs here would just bash into those yellows and hope. Yeah, cross our fingers and hope some yellow finds its way into some pocket. But what sort of plan can he make here, Steve? Do you see any sort of plan here? I think defense.
I think so.
Maybe you see the yellow on the bottom rail there. Oh, but the cue ball is too close to the cushion as well. I thought he could maybe play that one, bring the cue ball back to where it is right now. But that's so difficult. What do you think you could do? I can see he's shaking his head. What do you think?
I think the best plan here would probably be to maybe defend. I don't see a portable goal from this position. I don't think any of these yellows, unless you can hit the yellow from the right of the table, down to the other end of the pocket. Wow! See, that's what I was predicting, and it did that. But now the positioning of the cue ball now is a bit complicated again.
You see, it's those shots that we don't see coming. It just looks very difficult. But that's why I'm in awe of these players.
They call him the ghost for a reason. He does these things that we never think of.
And you know, it's a lot easier for us to think on the outside the table. Well, we are more flexible to that. I mean, it's hard in there on the table. But the way they manage to formulate and think out the next plan so well, that's also amazing. Even before the execution, just thinking out a plan, thinking out a way out, thinking of a solution when they're put in a predicament, that's also amazing.
Very
I think
amazing.
this is the cut that you can achieve, or maybe you can try to snooker. What a shot! That gave me goosebumps. Very grateful.
But unfortunately,
Manages to get the yellow, and what's it? He's doing very well. Amazing. Amazing stuff.
can we see another miracle here? Oh, not quite.
Well, getting the yellow was easy enough for him. He was good at the angle. The pot
Potting it was the issue.
yeah, it was an unfortunate snooker. And he really needed that frame
He did.
in order to narrow the gap. Because right now, Ginte is slowly climbing up the hill. Looks like he could clear this. There's no traffic really, no problem. A lot of us average players, or rather amateurs, would prefer to even snooker right now from behind those two red. But for him, I think it's a sure finish. Oh no! He decided to snooker. Was he actually trying to pot and fail to snooker?
If it was a snooker, it was a failed one. I think he was trying important to miss.
Yeah, he was trying to pot. Comes back to Aden.
That red didn't really look potable.
It was possible to pot it, but I think he handled it quite nonchalantly, you know, without too much care, I think. For him, it could have been.
The unmistakable voice of somebody leading the chance in one corner there. think there's more support in this building right now?
I'm struggling to decide. It seems 50-50.
Even, right?
And a lot of them I noticed are just, I think they're just enjoying the food. Because many of them are clapping regardless of who's up and who's in shot and cheering them on. I think a third of the crowd is like 100% behind Ginte. Another third of the crowd is like so behind Aden. The other third is just really just here for a good time. They're here for a good time and just enjoying the show and just clapping and acknowledging.
By the way, count me among the neutrals as well.
Oh, that's me too.
I really don't mind who's going to win. I just want to enjoy this.
I'm just loving the show.
What a tiebreak? It's a tiebreak. Aden will be tiebreak. And what happened? Do you think it's going to be a tiebreak?
I think so. I think so. I think it's going to be 7-7 and very soon 8-8. And time will not be a factor here. I'm not even worried to look at the time and inquire how much of the 90 minutes is remaining. Remember, guys, there's 90 minutes here. 90 minutes within which the match must be completed. And if it's not complete by the end of the 90 minutes, whoever is leading is then the winner. If the score is tied, they proceed. I mean, this is a very fast-paced match. I don't think the time will run out. I think they're doing all right, and I think this will be a prestige.
I think we put forward this right at the start. We knew this game was not going to be timed out, and so far we've been proven right. I don't think this one will be timed out. We're definitely going to get a winner here, and the winner will get tonight. Aden on the attack here with the yellow. Trying to nudge the other yellow. I think I was trying to nudge the other yellow off the rail.
No, most certainly, yeah. He was trying to, yeah. He's very good with his real shot, they both are. I think this is almost certainly in. If this is in, it's a done deal. This would be the most difficult ball he's left with of the three.
Sometimes this happens. It's a book to do. The one issue is the flag, right?
But is it an issue for Aden? Is the question.
Probably not.
But it doesn't have any clear pockets. So what I think right now, maybe you do the long range part of the yellow to the top right corner pocket, and making sure this is an important shot. He needs to position his cube perfectly, so that it's in such a position whereby last positive cannon. He was trying to pot that goal right there.
Yeah, he was trying.
Just trying to weaken Aden's chances and then bet that he can't clear. This is a difficult frame to clear as well.
It really is. It really is.
I think one good bench shot, or he can even cannon now. I think he may have planned that skill
Ginte and the king of double life always going.
Actually, I retract my words. It wasn't a mission. It was a try. We wanted to actually develop that last goal for the top pocket. The one up with the black on the short reel. But it didn't do, it didn't obviously mean for a skill shot or to plan for a skill shot. We just didn't develop it well. We wanted to develop it for a part at the corner pocket on the top right there. Anyway, 7-7.
7-7.
It goes to
Essentially, it is 2 now.
Oh yeah, with a lot of money on the line.
With a lot of money on the line.
Remember, number one walks away with $3,500. Number two, $2,000. Number three, $1,200. Number four, $700. And those in positions 5 to 8 each walk away with $300. In positions 5 to 8, confirmed already, we have Sakala Timothy from Zimbabwe. We have Harry Martin from South Africa. We have Kelvin Gandhi from Zambia. Who's the other one?
You can't wait to Morocco.
No, he's not in the last 8.
Where is he? Okay, it's 4, right? Well, this looks complicated a little bit.
Oh, Caesar's the other player in the last 8.
How could you forget Caesar or 4 players?
That page.
That was a good shot. I think a lot of Zimbabweans are happy to take perhaps Sakala in the money bracket. I remember the last tournament it was Linda who got to the last 8. The one who always only Zimbabweans to get into the money bracket. And this year it's Sakala. You know, the funny thing is, if you look at these two tournaments, this one and the last edition, the players that you usually think are defensive, not so skillful and all that, they seem to be the ones getting the money. For Zimbabweans, of course. Aden with the miss, Ginte back on the table.